computer froze, and before it deletes my chat, I want to read it to you because I asked an interesting question. I said, what if Antichrist isn't... Oh, it crashed on me, my goodness. I said, what if the Antichrist isn't the evil, but the one anti as in contrast to, whereas Jesus Christ was holy and God himself? What if Antichrist is a human who's just the in the gutters, who cried out to God and still got accepted into the family, right? So it would be a cool train of thought to follow, because as we see, we are having a massive awakening, right? And I think one of the biggest forms of Christian hate is people think that Christians think that they're perfect. And if we were to think about the teachings of Jesus Christ, we would understand that he came here to show us how to love and take care for one another, first and foremost. Before he started spewing stuff about him being God, he showed that he is God, right? Through miracles, through some powerful words. But he showed us how to love one another, how to still love and pray for our enemies, how to bless our friends and family, how to forgive our significant others, and how to just be an example, right? It doesn't look like he wrote very much, but the people who were around him wrote a lot about the observation, because they were there and they were observing this God, who later got killed because he was too perfect, right? But what if we're searching for an Antichrist that comes, well, the second coming of Christ, right? We're thinking that he's gonna come down through heaven, and I don't know, but we're also searching for an Antichrist who will deceive us, who will just be this big beast of a terrible human being. And so far, besides some AI bullshit, we only see humans doing some terrible human shit to each other, right? And what we're seeing is this demonic, but the spirits of all sorts of flavors of violence and evil thoughts and hunger and vicious and envy, just all the fruits of all of those spirits showing themselves to the world through all these evil actions: poverty, ignorance, violence, racism, partialism, just inability to fucking cooperate as human beings, right? So Jesus Christ came down to be like, you guys, your maker loves you a lot, aka I'm his kid, so we're here to talk about some God's business, right? And whatever you guys are up to in church is technically not pleasing to the guy up top, so why are you doing it, right? And so they killed him for it. But we've had a few thousand of years of thought. You know, we've progressed technologically. We're connected to AI, and AI is connected to all sorts of magnifying of ideas. So you can explore texts through a few concise paragraphs broken down to you through some crazy spiritual text or previous history, or even just some back and forth chatter, right? So AI is kind of cool for that. But humans are cooler. So since we're talking about this Christian stuff, so the Christians believe that they are made, that people, man and woman, are made in the image of God, and and this God has some good intentions for us, right? We are his masterpieces. The way that we process food alone, how the molecules break down into sources for blood, for the tissue, for the recovery, blah blah skis, right? And some leftover that comes out through some shit, which even the pooping process is magical. Like, how do you have this delicious hamburger goes in and it comes out smelling like shit, literally, right? So, but the process itself, and then lo and behold, the the waste products do not truly go to waste. They go back into nature, feed the ground, the soil, and then the soil sprouts out some delicious fruit, and we eat it again, and then over and over and over and over, right? And the way how our body, just when we die, it decomposes back into the earth so that the molecules are back to their original carbon form, and they're just back to dust. This is some crazy design. And the more we search through these algorithms and social medias and stuff that can actually also open up our minds, like one of the things that I saw was trees are the most rare element in the universe, because this is the only planet that grows them, and everywhere else there's all sorts of rocks and metals, right? Crazy thought, we're over here killing them trees, you know. But the goal was, God put us on earth. He said, hey, I think I'm cool. God's talking to himself. I think I'm pretty cool. Let me make a couple billion mini-me's and give them all free choice and give them all the ability to make things happen with their words, and then their thoughts and their actions. They can shape this world that he's designed for us, to not have to struggle for air, not have to struggle for water or food. It's kind of readily available, right, in this present day and age. Anyways, some crazy ideas. So if we were to consider the end of times, and we're expecting to be this huge reset button, and this is crazy because I'm scared to talk about some of this, because what if I'm wrong and I'm deceiving people, right? So I don't have the true confidence to be like, whatever you guys believe is completely bullshit and I know the answers. So I think what we're doing, all of us, is we're searching for answers, and we're trying to see, well, at the moment we're trying to see which side is the bigger one, so that we can bulldog motherfuckers to believe what we believe. But we also need to understand that it doesn't matter what group we're part of. Our families are fractured because we believed a couple misunderstandings, right? Our finances are completely fucked up for at least 98% of us in the world. Some of us are hungry, misinformed. There's just a lot of stuff for us humans that we're maybe not doing properly, right? There's a lot of gatekeepers. There's a lot of rich people with some truly hidden creative fucking ways to destroy and capitalize in, and this and that. And there's some truly evil poor people who not only stay there, but they crave the negativity and the lowness of spirit that lingers in some of these sorrowful situations, like poverty and starvation and like true disease. And some of these diseases are human caused, right? Some of these medicines are keeping us halfway dead and reliant on more medicines and this and that. And then some of these pastors who are supposed to be shepherds, who are guiding these sheep on from the dangerous ways of life, at least, you know, like some of these pastors have zero love for their congregation. So however, now that the EBT and food stamps and all sorts of government assistance is being cut off, I would like to encourage churches to be sources of help, you know, offer hope, offer solutions, offer shelter, offer food, and a good message. But then consider, what is the good message? So Christmas time is coming. This could be a crazy opportunity for us as a church, or it could be the end of the world as we know it, you know. So happy Friday night.